This is like Kobe stuff.
The best Knicks point guard since Jeremy Lin.
Just took over the game. Oh, it's River Sanity? All right, let me get to another thing that has been a surprise so far, and that is the New York Knicks. So we talked about this on Tuesday, but since then, I watched their game against the Utah Jazz. And I tweeted, Austin Rivers has waited for this his entire life. Austin Rivers looked like those high school mixtapes you used to see of Austin Rivers when he was at one point the number one high school player in the country. He was just breaking people off. I mean, the whole bag. Floaters, fadeaways, step back threes. He scored 14 straight to end their game against Utah.
It was amazing.
It was out of control. And this, as you watch that unfold, it's like this now, like the Jazz game was one that could quickly bring you back to reality. You're right. I mean, that's an extremely good team. And they clearly faced a Hawks team and now might have sent the Hawks into a total locker room tailspin after the Knicks came back on them the other night and stole the victory away from them. But that Utah game, look, Austin Rivers being that dude for them down the stretch, I mean, that was... If you had never watched a Knicks game before, or if you had no awareness of who Austin Rivers was before, and you watch that, you would think Austin Rivers is the biggest superstar in the league. This is like Kobe stuff.
The best Knicks point guard since Jeremy Lin.
Just took over the game. Oh, it's River Sanity? Is that what you're saying?
I like the Austin Rivers quote after that game. He said, "I've been on bad teams before. This is not one. I can promise you that. I don't know where we'll end up. There's so much work to do, but I do know that the spirit is different. This is not the Knick team that y'all have been covering."
No.
Speaking to the New York media there. They're not.
Hey, maybe, you never know. After 7 years, is this the new Austin Rivers? Is this home? Do you know this? The roof would have blown off of Madison Square Garden when he hit that last three. That was the craziest thing ever. And who knows what's sustainable because RJ Barrett's been awesome. They haven't had Obi yet. RJ Barrett's been awesome. Julius Randle's numbers are just freaky at this point. And I have been the Julius Randle fan.
And I've been the Julius Randle hater for a long time. Yeah.
I remember one of our big arguments. You wanted to trade Julius Randle for Otto Porter or Julius Randle and a first rounder for Otto Porter. And I fought you that I would rather have Julius Randle. Then we fought last year. You tried to tell me he was worse than Dario Saric. Now, come back. No, I'm
looking stupid now.
You give Julius Randle his respect.
Julius Randle averaging, let's just make it clear when you say outrageous numbers, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 7.4 assists, shooting 34% from three. I mean, the dude's been kick ass.
Unbelievable.
And that's like the surprising aspect to me with the Knicks. Randle, a guy that I've never been a big fan of, still not the biggest fan, but a bigger fan right now. And I love the way they're utilizing him on the offensive end of the floor. Tibbs has him running more handoffs around the high post, around, the wing and the 3-point line. He's facilitating a bit more. He's still turning the ball over nearly five times a game. Too many.
He had 3 at the end of the Hawks game that were just like, many. Oh my God.
Yeah. Still too many turnovers. Still too many. But the passing willingness is encouraging to see.
Yes. And he's he plays hard. He plays hard.
He does.
I mean, he was in there fighting Rudy Gobert and those guys, and he's an undersized guy.
I mean, that's always been my issue with Randle going back to Kentucky. I remember I wrote an article for CelticsBlog.com like in 2015, whatever year his draft was, 2014, that's right. And it was like Celtics fans wanted Julius Randle, and it was about his defense and just how bad he was at Kentucky and the defensive end of the floor. And Randle's one of those weird types of players who plays so hard It's just he's not always in the right position. He's often in the wrong position. And with him, that's been a learning thing for him is, over his time in the league. And it's encouraging to see that progress under Tibbs. He's been a little bit better defensively. He's been a little bit better as a playmaker. And hopefully for him, as he gets more time with this group around him, that he gets even better. Because there's a really good player in there. Mm-hmm. There is. Undeniably. Yeah. Just, hopefully it can come together. I'm encouraged.
Well, and that Knicks team, look, you turn around. It's one thing to beat the Atlanta Hawks and come from behind, and that's super cool. But then you had to turn around, you had to play the Utah Jazz, who were at total full strength.
Yeah.
And Utah has no answer for Austin Rivers.